Hi, it's Paulie here. So, long ago, as I was first going to the USA to go to Gen Con and everything and sell, albedo and lace and steel. I went to Gen Con and so on. When I first was selling albedo, the artist for albedo was Steve Galacci, who did the comic book albedo, and he did a whole bunch of other things in a analogy called Critters and these sorts of things. And great guy, and a real kind of foundation self-publisher for comics. Love him to death. He's still out there. Steve, love you forever. But he introduced me to a lot of the kind of alternative comic artists and so on of the time. So I got to be really good friends with these people. From these came the early furry fans, which I believe I told you before, but early furry fandom was just a collection of these amazing cartoonists and writers and so on. So these people became my fast friends. We were there, and getting to the States was just the thing that was the thrill of the year. You look forward to it all year because these people were just amazing. You go over there, get to the conventions, and we wouldn't sleep at the conventions. Anytime you were sleeping, you were cheating yourself. There was a time you could be hanging out with all of these amazing people, and between the cons you'd like stay at these friends' houses and so on. And being poor artists, like often they'd be all sharing houses. It'd be a household and be 4 or 5 artists living together, and you come and you just sleep in a sleeping bag on their living room floor. But just a total riot, as you're spending your days just laughing with these guys and sharing jokes and having the most amazing time. You'd explore the local area with them, and just fantastic. Formative time of my life. Amazing. Yeah. So, as the years have gone by, sure, some have died, but to my shock, more and more of these people who are like alternative comic people have turned into absolute fascists. I'm speaking as a historian with a degree in fascism and its growth in the 20th century, okay? I'm telling you they're fascists. Every box ticked. So one of them just went into a huge rant against me when I first, transed about how, vicious and evil and destroying of all masculinity on the planet, and how, this is an evil that must be stamped out. And, literally this hate-filled rants. Is all right. Well, that's a shame. That was one of the LA people that I used to love to visit. Says, I guess we're done. Um, Another and another and another have done this. I've just had another one today. Now, this one, there's been a couple of them that I could see coming. There was one guy who was all God, guns, and guts all the time, and was always just misusing guns, accidentally shooting himself in the leg, blowing up TV sets, complete asshole. Kind of always knew that one was coming because, he was the big conspiracy theorist, believed he was picked up by aliens, all this sort of stuff. You could see that guy was going to end up as no good. Had another one today, and this has been another slow slide, where he's gone from basically a total fucking asshole of an American libertarian to a total fucking asshole of an American right-wing hate monger, essentially. Lots of guns kind of posts, but really kind of focused on murdering people. Like lots of social media posts about how he longs to kill people, murder people, how these forces are closing in. He's got to have his guns. Soon he knows he'll be there in the streets battling them, spent brass clattering everywhere. He's got more and more. But same, there's this whole fantasy world that this guy lives in, of where, the dreaded forces of the left will be foaming onto the streets and he'll be gunning them down. And then over the last day or so, suddenly there it is, the anti-trans rants about, all of the, we call it the groomer libel now, for those of you who are fans of the actual Nazi party and Julius Streicher, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, there we are. He's out there spreading those falsehoods, which are designed by the right wing to foster violence against the trans community. That is their purpose. They are there to generate violence and to generate death. And there he is spreading it around. So, all right, we're done. it's very confusing in many ways to think what is the journey that's led from happy-go-lucky alternative comic artists. Yeah, we're there to fight the man. We're there we're all there poor in the trenches, writing funny books that are sort of like anti-authoritarian, I would have thought was their core. And then here are these people, Trump is our God, obey the president, the left wants to somehow destroy you, trans people are here to steal your children, gay people are here to destroy society. It's like, that's a hell of a journey. Looking back, I think I see the seeds of it. Like if you could go back to your 20-year-old self and see these things like 40 odd years ago, I can see that what I was taking as humor, that was someone trying to show you themselves. When they're making dark humor jokes, it's not dark humor jokes. That's actually the hatred just veiled. So I can see it. And I can see in some of these comics too, when I go back now and look at them, they're not anti-authoritarian, they're pro-violence. They're not fighting the man, they're just wanting to hurt someone. And they're not anti-authoritarian, they're saying my opinion is worth more than the lives and safety of anyone on earth. So it's not that big a shock when I look at it with more mature eyes that have learned. So a lot of people say we get more conservatives as we get older. We do not. When you actually see honest-to-God rational people with empathy, they're not getting conservative. They're remaining red as a monkey's asshole. I think we fail to progress as we get older unless we're careful. Unless we spend time in self-examination. Unless we spend time looking at our attitudes and wondering, can I do better? Looking at what we used to do and saying, oh my God. Yeah. Oh, well, look, at the time I knew what I knew and I was in an environment that said that's right, but I've learned and I've progressed and I will keep trying to do better. I will keep focusing on not doing harm and making the world a better place every day. I think if you don't have that process, yeah, you will fail to progress. And those attitudes which you were veiling become more obvious as you just stop hiding them. Those people back in those days, I think they always were misogynists. I think they always were pro-violence, pro-murder. Like I said, I don't think they were anti-authoritarian. I think they were anti any authority on them. As in, I'm not going to let anyone tell me what to do, and murdering someone to get my own way is fine by me. I think those attitudes rise there, so I'm not shocked. But they failed to progress, and now they're just ugly, ugly people. I'm sad at the illusion of friendships lost, but on the other hand, I'm kind of happy to be in a more peaceful place where the influence of these people isn't going to be pouring down on me anymore. It's right to mourn for lost friendships, I think. I'm also a bit angry at myself, I have to say, because a lot of that friendship I think was illusory. These guys, if they hate trans people, if they hate gay people, if they hate women, if they hate all these things, then they never liked me. Because look at what I've stood for all these years. Anyway, think once, think twice, think don't be a fascist twat. For God's sakes. Anyway, much love to all the viewers. Bye.